I have 2 words for everybody that is listening, everybody that's next to me. It is The Boys.
So season 4 just wrapped up. I'm sure if you're watching this, it's because you watched that and you're looking for our review.
I have not finished the last episode.
Well, that's where everything happens.
I know. Bear with me. Let me tell you why. Listen. So I started watching The Boys. Then they started referencing things that I knew nothing about. So I'm like, okay. And, the first couple episodes of The Boys was not really doing so well. It was slow. We didn't know what was happening. Okay. Can we address the elephant in the room? Sorry to just break away with this. Can we just talk about the appearance of every individual in this motherfucking season? Like, I have never seen such lies. You know where it happened, which was a drastic change? House of the Dragon. That is the other show that I can think of about that we've watched.
And we're going to review that, by the way, because season 2...
Oh, I haven't even... God, I got to watch that. At the end of this episode, we're going to talk about
season
some shows
2 of House of the Dragon, though?
Oh, that's exciting. I haven't even started it because I'll
You
also
will
talk
not
about
be
where
disappointed.
And I'll also talk about what's got my interest.
It is not... You will not be disappointed. But
so you understand how that changed in House of the Dragon?
It was a dramatic shift in season 1.
And they were the same people.
Yeah, and none of them looked... So I've never seen someone lose weight and look worse. And I know he did that for something about
Sure.
like he looked up his lineage and found out that he needed to I guess going down his family tree and figured out losing weight was the best. More power to you. He doesn't look like MM.
He's not intimidating anymore.
He just
and
by the way, MM is my favorite character of the whole show. I think MM is the best character.
No.
If I was in The Boys, I would be MM.
Kimiko is my favorite.
Kimiko is also a great character.
If we're picking one.
And I know the actress who plays Starlight gets a lot of hate because of like what she chose to do in surgery and how she chose to alter her appearance and just to be nice and cordial and not get canceled on YouTube for hate speech.
And hate speech.
My opinion is
she was beautiful the way she was.
She was gorgeous.
But that's not my opinion to be given.
And now she looks worse.
Yeah.
And
justifiably worse.
And I don't want to make this just about her appearance. Nope. It's the idea that you said. There's so many people that just look different. When the season started, it just kind of took you aback.
Right.
And then
how many years have passed?
That coupled with the fact that I had not watched Gen V leading up to this season, and you didn't either.
Right. But I stopped.
All of a sudden, we had things happen in season 4 that referenced that show. And like you, my wife and I stopped the episodes and went and watched all of Gen V so we could be knowledgeable about what was happening because it didn't tell you should watch it before leading into it.
No, and as you
just assumed you did watch it.
Episode 6 and 7 of The Boys heavily reference Gen V.
Oh, and the finale, by the way?
Will the same?
If you didn't watch Gen V, you'd be like, what the fuck is happening?
So, and to me, Gen V, I don't know what it got rated or anything reviewed, but it was fantastic. I truly liked it.
One episode into Gen V, and I was like, yeah, this is not going to be
you had to go back for a second time to watch it.
I did, and the second time I went back, so if we're just going to talk about both together in this review,
it's The Boys universe.
I think Gen V was a better season than season 4.
Really? And can I tell you that season 4 of The Boys is, I believe, the 4th highest season of something ever watched on Amazon?
Yeah, I just don't understand. You mean like popularity wise?
But most watched.
Yeah, most watched. Okay, that's not really analogous to also being great.
No, absolutely not, because we're all sheeple.
But popular means something.
Yeah.
And it's a very popular
people are
show.
settling in for it. But
it's like House of the Dragon right now. House of the Dragon, getting back to that again, it is like all I see on social media. That's the only thing I see. And it was The Boys while it was airing. So if I'm comparing Gen V to season 4 of The Boys, Gen V I thought was better. And I will get into why season 4 to me just wasn't up to snuff for me. Mainly Frenchie and Kimiko. Why did we have to do the rinse and repeat thing with Frenchie's storyline about his past and his trauma that we already have been through? And the same thing with Kimiko, where it's remember that thing where he went through this arc and then they got better and they became together? What if we did that exact same thing and we threw a twist in that now Frenchie likes men? And I just thought it was the most needless thing.
Yeah.
And I could not be bothered to care about his love interest outside of Kimiko because he belongs with Kimiko. Okay? If you disagree with me, fuck you, fight me.
Their bond, in the other seasons, were this is going to be a good couple.
And now all of a sudden, Kimiko was just so you know, in the beginning of the season, this is just a friendship brother-sister thing. It's no, the fuck it's not. The show has not, shown you them to have a platonic relationship.
No.
It is very much a emotional, romantic connection.
No,
And
absolutely.
so their storyline together for half the season, I could have just completely done away with. Like,
Yep.
scrap it and start over. Go back to the drawing board. They must have something new to come to the table with. Starlight in like her again with her powers losing it. I could have.
How did she lose her powers?
I don't know.
Why don't I remember?
Maybe
that?
it's like the whole self-hatred thing of her, and she couldn't concentrate.
like
enough
mentally
on-
she like blocked
Right.
it maybe.
Yeah.
But like I'll be honest, still currently in the entire season, I'm like, why did I miss something? Was that in season 3? Did we? I was just completely lost. I like Firecracker. I think obviously this season whole does like a big ploy on just look around.
Just general politics.
Yeah.
It's actually scary how closely season 4 of The Boys matches our own reality, to where the finale had to change the title and give you like a warning before
Yes,
the episode
that's
started.
where I paused it.
Just so you guys know,
Yep.
this is all fictitious. None of this
Obviously
is real.
written before things happened.
And then things happened in our real world in America. If you're watching this from a different country, with a certain former president and a rally, they had to rework it in a way, the way it was presented, because
I get it.
It was so closely paralleling our universe, where they had to go, just so you guys know, this is still fake. This isn't real. And a lot of people did not like the polarization of the political side.
They didn't like the truth of
This
it?
is what I have to tell people who don't like politics and The Boys. Where the fuck have you been? Every
put their
single
head
season
in the
of The
ground.
Boys is political and divisively so.
This is, though, I will say season 4 is more like in your face. Kind of like, hey,
Sure.
this is it. But I think the world has progressed. But like, if you truly, I do agree. Like, if you look back, it has been there. It's there the whole time.
Yeah.
As soon as like Homelander starts realizing like his power, like he's being controlled by this organization that literally has no power, because now he's starting to realize that he is better than they, as soups, are better than regular people, because they are obviously superior.
And I will say, so I said like the storylines that I couldn't stand. Starlight's for the most part, I could have done away with.
Yep.
As a character, really, I thought she was really poor this season.
Yep.
I could have done without Kamiko and Frenchie's like
Yep.
80% of the season. I could have done away with, and then they brought it back together. So just in time, but I will also say that something I really liked and a character arc that I'm really appreciating is A-Train.
Oh yeah, no, A-Train has become like
He's almost like the Jamie Lannister of The Boys. If you
like
watch
he's
Game
doing
of
it for,
Thrones,
like,
you'll
the
know what I
right
mean.
He's like doing it for the right thing. Obviously, he got caught up. Who wouldn't want to be part of the 7 back in the day when A-Train got inducted into it?
Yep.
But he by far he's realized how. So same with Sage. Sage kind of started like she was in it for her own thing, like she was making that determination. But like it was like, okay, these people are fucked up. Like Tech Knight. Like think of Tech Knight's character.
God, that whole scene,
Oh boy,
man,
that was different.
with Ashley and Huey, and the way it ended with it being gooey.
It was different. It was different.
Or goo.
Would I swap places? Hell, why not?
I would not. I would not.
Yeah, like at what point do you realize that like tickling? I don't know. That's for a different video, everybody.
Yeah, imagine getting hard at tickling.
I don't know.
I don't know how you. Could
Sounds
do that.
like torturous.
How do you get hard at tickling?
I don't know.
know.
If you know, put it down there in the
Yeah,
comments.
happens to me all the time. So okay, and there is a character in the show that I just have to give a shout out to because of how absurdly stupid he is entirely, and I enjoy it to no end. Is the Deep?
Oh,
I can't tell you every single episode of every season. He is so absurdly stupid
Yeah,
that
he's just
I have got to
oblivious.
tell you that he's one of my favorite characters. He's like the comic book dumb, ignorant, evil.
what about his love storyline? Did you appreciate that? I did.
First of all, one of the characters, Sage, had to have a lobotomy in order to care about him, and
have
the
sex
other one,
with him, purely have sex with him.
that's right, like an animal. And then the other one was an animal. So yeah, what a awesome, stupid character to just bring comedic relief into a show that inherently is very dark. Right?
Correct.
The
You
undertones
needed
of the
that,
show
I
are very
believe.
dark. So I feel like the Deep is a perfect comedic relief to the show in every way. So I love his character in all the wrong ways. He's fabulous. If I had to grade this season, you haven't watched the finale yet.
No,
I
I
will
have
say that the final 5 minutes of the episode of the finale, I had to go back and rewatch it because every single scene, so much happens that I feel like they didn't do enough and let it breathe. They were just like building up. 50 things happen in 30 seconds, and they're like, see you next time.
And we got to wait another year or two.
At
Easy.
least. Yeah. So I would give it, if I had to rate it out of 10, I would probably give this season like a 7.
I think that's pretty. This day and age, a 7 is like
It's not bad.
reasonable to me.
The Kamiko and Frenchie storylines to begin the season were awful. I did not care about Starlight's progression this season. Huey's mom was a big curveball.
Oh my
thrown in
God!
this
Talk
season.
about that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere.
The episode with his dad was sad.
Yeah.
I think it just became.
I don't know if they
different,
could,
but
I could have done it without all that as well.
Yeah, that was much like it was just needless.
And A Train was the highlight.
And his growth, I can't wait to see what he becomes.
And then we have the whole thing. We didn't talk at all about Butcher and his progression this season, which is like he's just been.
No, but we're going to come back and do a review of The Boys season 4, where we'll dig into this. But I want to tie obviously. Well, and you know what? Do we do a separate episode of Gen V? Do we do The Boys together?
We can do them together.
I think they're so closely related because as we learned, without with season 4, you kind of had to watch Gen V, and I avoided Gen V like the plague for a long time.
I did too.
Everybody around me was like, "Oh, you got to watch it. It's good. It's good." And now I'm interested to see where they go with that because one of the main characters there had passed away as well.
Yeah, the guy who plays Andre apparently died in a motorcycle
accident
or a car accident.
Yeah, and he's obviously in the in that area with Cricket and because with Sam and Kate now being the power couple of Godolkin and showing up in The Boys. Mm-hmm. It's nice. Like obviously you knew there were going to be something more because they're little homelanders.
I do like almost every character introduced in Gen V.
Yeah, I think their powers are cool. I think the idea of the school was cool. I think the dean was messed up. I hated to see the original dean go, but
I like how they made her relatable too.
Yeah,
it was like her family was one of the victims.
It was in that plane from season 1. It was crazy. Like they do. I love when shows do good wraparounds like that.
And I thought she was actually batshit insane until that happened.
Yep.
And I thought she's Butcher.
Oh, didn't they reference that too? That when
Mallory.
Yeah, when
Mallory referenced Butcher when saying you remind me of Butcher. And it was like a perfect parallel.
Hopefully you never meet it because you guys would be.
So she was basically Butcher without the team to support her. And she died without a team to back her up. So I thought that the way they wrapped her up and made me sympathize with the villain of the show. I love when a show can make me sympathize with the person of the show, like the antagonist.
Yeah.
I do love that when you can pull my heartstrings for the character that I'm supposed to be rooting against. That's how you write a good villain, and they made that happen in the end. Where
and
it's like
what she needed to do and the way she wanted to do it and why she did it's great. But that because you saw in The Boys that virus, they were doing some work down there.
Yep.
Now how they treated the other kids and they did everything down there was pretty shitty, but
the Woods.
Yeah, that's why Sam is the way he was. Sam threw out his love interest with Cricket.
I'm sorry you just threw that under there. We're like, it's just kind of shitty. Yeah, that's what we call kind of shitty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, lab rat imprisonment. Yeah, kind of shitty.
Well, there's the villain part of it. Like she needed to realize you have to test on the actual test subject. I get it.
And they did something like that with the hospital with what's her name from one of the seasons of The Boys, the racist.
Oh,
Stormfront.
Yep, Stormfront.
With Stormfront, they had the hospital. Actually, I think the hospital was referenced in Gen V.
I'm sure.
Yeah, so
I think they did. I just like how every bit of The Boys world and every off spin interacts with Manager. Because even the cartoon ones, which we've watched and done
Diabolical.
before. I think that was pretty cool. But are you watching anything else? Because we'll come back and do all the Boys
right
stuff
now.
in the thing.
So yeah, just wrapping up. That's all we're going to discuss in The Boys. We may do an episode coming back where we deep dive season 4 in relation to Gen V and all the storylines after he finishes it. But right now, it's House of the Dragon.
Which I totally forgot until you said it here today. I totally forgot about it.
Well, it's out and it's awesome, and we're almost done.
I've been wrapped up in the Vikings.
Okay.
That is it. Just the third and final season came on Netflix in I believe it was July 11th or 12th. So I did myself the service and the great pleasure to watch season 1 and 2 again. You know, it wraps back to the History Channel series Vikings, and then this is just in the future. It's just so good. I just like some sword and board, man. I just like some things killing, big axes, and
Season
medieval
1 of Vinland
world.
Saga.
No. Look, let me tell you what ruined. This is what ruined season 1 of Vinland Saga.
Season 2, he means.
Season 2 ruined season 1.
So, of all the bad opinions he's had, Dorohedoro, mainly everything with Vinland Saga.
Look, we ain't muddying the waters with Vinland Saga, but I will say, in the Vikings,
that's the worst opinion he's ever had, by the way.
You get Canute.
On the whole show.
You get King Harold. You get all things.
Leif Erikson.
Yep, Leif is the main character in Vikings Valhalla. So, you know, you're right there at home. Just nestle in. You get to see.
I think I will watch Vikings, actually.
Yeah, it seems historically accurate in my world. Because
enough
a lot
to pass?
Absolutely. Yeah. Enough to make it a compelling story.
It just should be animated. Because animated shows are better than live action. I fucking said it. Live action shows are not as good as animated shows.
And guys, you just heard that right here. But next time, make sure to come back. We're going to deep dive in the boys, Gen V. We're going to look into House of the Dragon. We got Vikings, and we have all the anime, which you will see in other episodes.
Plenty of anime.
Thanks for sticking around, and we will catch you on the next episode. See ya.